I'm your host, Tony T. As we broadcast live here on Pig Dogs and Sports Chat Place YouTube channel throughout social media. We'll get you out of here before the top of the hour. Give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime game. But that's what we do here on the drive-thru Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Deliver live free picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. And to deliver those winners are professional handicappers over at Pig Dogs and Sports Chat Place. So let's be the cappers and get right to the picks. We don't mess around here on the drive-thru. Let's go to Big Al. Big Al, what's going on?
Not much. Looking forward to the second half of the baseball season. I enjoyed the All-Star game. And, right now all we have, of course, is Canadian football for the most part. And I've cashed my last 8 CFL plays in a row. I've got one play posted for tonight in the CFL.
Very good. Let's go to Wayne. Wayne, what's going on?
Just talking to Mills about this boxing. It's about the only thing that I can hop on and stuff out for at the moment. Like Big Al said, just ready for the second half of baseball season. I want to finish that strong.
Very good. Let's go to Mills. Mills, what's going on?
What's going on, everybody, man? I got a locked and loaded card for today. We got some MMA to bet on. It's called Tough Enough. It's going down on the UFC Fight Pass, so, locked in a few parlays. Yesterday, if you guys didn't get your fix in on the WNBA, man, it seemed like today, unless you betting on minor league soccer or something, you just got to sit back and wait.
Yep, we do. So we're going to do it a little differently here on the drive-thru. We're going to break the sports down. Big Al will get the CFL. Wayne will get the NBA Summer League. Today is the last regular season day of the Summer League. Then they go into the playoffs. And then there will be a fifth game, consolation games for the rest of the teams here. So 4 teams advance to the semis. And then the remaining 26 teams will play a consolation fifth game there. So that's how it rolls here as we get down. Of course, a lot of teams undefeated here in the Summer League. Only 4 teams advanced, so no doubt point differential will make the difference here. So we have some games to cover there. And Bills will cover us with the UFC for the weekend, so we'll break it down like that. So let's get started here with the drive-thru. We're going to cover the CFL with Big Al. He's got that one down. Toronto and Montreal. We see it looks like Montreal favored about 10.5, total 51.5.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the standings. Are the San Antonio Spurs still one of the undefeated teams?
You know what? That's a good question. Yeah, they are, right? Okay, there we go.
Go Spurs, go.
They are.
They play tonight. I think they play the Jazz tonight. Not sure, but maybe I'll watch it.
They play the Hornets.
Oh, the Hornets, yeah. Hornets, Jazz, what's the difference?
They have a pretty good point differential, plus 16.6, number 2. So if they win, they should be pretty good.
Yeah, their first 2 games were blowouts. They held their opponents to 69 and 70, and then they won an overtime game last time out with a bucket at the buzzer, so they only won by 2 points in game 3. I didn't know if they played a 4th game after that. But anyway, CFL. We're going to look at this matchup tonight with Toronto and Montreal. And these 2 teams actually opened the season against one another. And like this game tonight, that first game was played here in Montreal, and the Alouettes did win that game 28-10, so it went under the total by 11.5 points. The Alouettes then also went under in their second home game of this season. That was the last time they played. That was against British Columbia. They lost that game 21-20, so that's now 2-0 to the under at home for Montreal, and that extends what's really been a long-term stretch for Montreal that they've gone under the total at home. They're 101-69 under their last 170, including 94-58 under if the over-under line was 47 or higher, which of course this is. I like the under again, and we're going to look at Toronto and Montreal under the 51.5.
They are from Big Al. All right, let's continue here on the drive. So we turn our attention over to this NBA Summer League. As we said, there are some spots to fill in the playoffs right now, and it will basically go down. It looks like the point differential in some of these tiebreaker scenarios here. As we said, we have a lot of teams undefeated here. At 3-0 are the Raptors and Spurs. Very high point differentials. Raptors plus 17, Spurs plus 16.6. The Thunder is in the clubhouse at 4-0 with a plus 15 unit, point differential. Kings at 4-0 as well, with 11.5 point differential. Hawks, Clippers, Charlotte Hornets, all at 3-0 right now, waiting to play their games to see if they can qualify here for this postseason. And as we said, point differential will be a factor here in trying to get these teams into the in if they finish undefeated here as we get down to the later stages here of the NBA Summer League. Of course, Toronto, San Antonio still to play as well. So lot to going on here. So let's go get to the Summer League here with some of these games here. Looks like we've got one here. Let's back it up a little bit here if we can. Oops, hit the wrong key here. Got to get back to the NBA. Here we go. Looks like bottom of the hour. This one has been moved in time change here. We got the Hawks and Grizzlies. Wayne, the Grizzlies are going to be dogs here. Hawks 5.5 total, 222.5.
Yeah, both Hawks 3. Just too many points right here for the Grizzlies. Trail lightly on these plays, as some of these one of the hardest things to me with the best player on the floor being on the Grizzlies and G.G. Jackson. Hawks have been playing strong. I think Grizzlies clamp down with the defense. You're giving me 6 points with the best player on the floor. And Grizzlies with a little more to play for. Give me Grizzlies plus the started at 6.5. Now we see the at about 5.5. So money's coming in on Grizzlies.
All right, here's the game here involving the Spurs here and the Hornets. These are two undefeated teams here, so this will have a lot to do here. Of course, the Hornets are going to have to get some points here because they're kind of at the bottom here as far as point differentials of the undefeated teams. So Spurs 5.5 here, total 222.5.
Yeah, as Tony just mentioned, that's an added motivation that the Hornets will be playing with here. Not only do they need to win, but they need to win by a strong number. Hornets money line for sure, but I lean to them with the spread as well.
There we go. Let's continue on here. Rockets and Trailblazers here playing for pride here. Got the Rockets 5.5 total 222.5.
Yeah, give me the Trailblazers. Rockets don't have too many noticeable free agents. Didn't have or clinging. This Trailblazer team is loaded with youth and decent free agents as well. We're at like 5.5 now. We're going to ride that line movement and take the Trailblazers a favorite in this spot.
Yeah, from Wayne. The next up, Celtics and Lakers playing for pride here. They got the Celtics 5.5 total 222.5.
Yeah, I like the Celtics. Didn't love that line movement. They went 3.5 all the way up to 5.5. I almost want to flip sides and go with the Lakers with that 2 point line movement. All in all, I think Celtics money line is probably the best play in this spot.
From Wayne, continue on here. Warriors and Raptors, big game for the Raptors here. Undefeated, very high point differential, maybe just to win and they get in here. Of course, they're playing this game here at 10 Eastern time. They may know the math coming into this one, so maybe just to win and they're in, as this will be the second to last game played here for today. Warriors here 5.5. Your favorite here against the Raptors, total 222.5.
Yeah, and I understand why. I watched the Raptors a few games, and their defense has been locked down. It's like Game 7 playoff defense. Trying to watch. I have. I mean, of course, they're playing hard because they want to make the team, but it's been a while since I've seen like a full team lock in, like not seeing the players and the focus from the younger players to try to come out here and compete. Although, like Tony said, they may not need to win by a large amount. The way they're playing defense, I just don't see people scoring on them. So I do think that they can cover this spread.
The Raptors 8.5 point favorites as we speak. All right, Nuggets and Clippers here. Tonight we see the Clippers. This we're not getting the good numbers here from our feed here. We got the Clippers laying 10.5 here. Total coming in here at 178.5. Again, the Clippers, a team that is coming into this game undefeated. This is the last game that's going to be played, so they're going to know the math coming into this one. A plus 9 point differential, and the Sacramento Kings plus 11.5 point differential. So they're going to know the math here in this game here, Wayne, what they're going to need, what their margin of victory is going to be here. As the Clippers are going to be favored here, 10.5, 10. We're seeing now total 178.5.
Just going to have to take the favor and ride the line movement. We're getting this at 8, as Tony said. Clippers coming in. Nuggets just haven't been competitive. 0-3 in summer leagues. Haven't been keeping it close. Just don't see the to take them over the top. Like what the Clippers been doing, same kind of with the Raptors, doing a lot of strong defense and moving that ball.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to get Bradley Beal. That's what they buy out there from Phoenix, and Beal looks like they take a 2-year, $11 million contract with the Clippers. Clippers getting Beal on the cheap. I don't know whether he's worth it or not. All right, we got you through the sports. Mills and I will be doing the UFC rundown here on a separate segment, but let's well, before we do the parlay, I don't know if there's purple today, but Wayne or Big Al, do you have any game of the future there in that segment? If you have anything,
I mean, I can give a game for tomorrow if you want.
Okay.
I mean, I like the Chicago Cubs in the afternoon game against the Boston Red Sox. Pitching matchup is Colin Ray against Lucas Giolito, and you've got two pitchers who perform opposite when they go up against good teams. In his career, Colin Ray, when going up against winning teams, his teams have gone 26-18 plus 14.4 net gains. And most of the time, he's been an underdog when he's gone up against winning teams, and yet he's done very well. Conversely, Lucas Giolito, when he's gone up against winning teams, his teams have gone 31-55 minus 22.0 net gains. So I like the Chicago Cubs minus $1.30.
There you go. From Big Al, agree there with Big Al. All right, now let's see what's going on over at Pick Dogs Premium. Head into Christmas in July. Great time of the year here over at Pick Dogs. We'll take a look, see what Wayne's got going on over at Pick Dogs Premium with Christmas in July in full swing. Wayne's put together impressive numbers over the last 30 days, 1,145 units of profit. What you got going over at Pick Dogs Premium? Looks like we might have lost.
Be the low. Yeah, as Tony mentioned, I have nothing for sale today, but Christmas in July is up. It'll be pick, and you'll get additional 15% off. The way I've been rolling this baseball season, that'll probably pay for your whole year within the next probably a month in the baseball. Looking to get that Christmas in July for me.
Christmas in July with Wayne over at Pick Dog Premium. Great results right now, as you can see. Big Al, what you got over at Pick Dog Premium? Christmas in July in full swing. Great numbers last 12 months, over 12,000 units of profit based on a $100 unit wager size.
Yeah, over the last 12 months, 892 and 682 in all selections. So if you're betting $1,000 a game, you're up $123,610. So everyone who joined Christmas in July, last July, is up about, if they're betting $1,000 a game, they're up $123,000. It's the biggest savings of the season. You can also team me up with one of the other champion handicappers like Tony or Wayne or Mills, and you can even save more when you join for 2 handicappers or 3 or 4 in July. And as Wayne just mentioned, use the code PICK at checkout and you save an additional 15%. So our packages are up right now, and it's no better time to join than right now.
That's right. Get on board. Big Al over at Pick Dog Premium. All these numbers are verifiable. You can go over to Big Al's handicapper page and go down to Pick History. You can see every play and all what he's got to offer here. Christmas in July. Get signed up. All right, guys. So with here on the drive through Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. each time. UFC Rundown will be coming up next with Mills and myself. Of course, let's see what's rolling over on the Pick Dogs YouTube channel. Of course, Big Al, you contribute with your all access as well as your all access for your big players.
Yeah, if folks want to join the all access, it's a little bit different than the regular service. The games are the same, but there are ratings attached to them. So we rate the games 10-star down through 1-star, so you know which ones are the strongest. And in addition to the ratings, you can ask me about any game of your liking. It's all access. It's 24 hours a day. You can reach me at 9:55 p.m. if the game you want to bet on goes off at 10 p.m. It's not for everyone, though. You must be a high roller, and you must be able to bet 1 to 10,000 a game. But if you're interested, just text Big Al to 702-769-0404. Tony, I have one play tonight in the CFL over at the Pick Dogs Premium site as we go for our 9th CFL winner in a row. And then I'll have 2 plays tomorrow in Canadian football, but they'll be posted overnight.
There you go. So just get on board here with Big Al. Make the text, head on over to his handicap page, and get signed up. Okay, Wayne, of course, you keep an eye on the boxing world. Lots going on in boxing of late.
Yeah, for sure. It's a great card with Manny Pacquiao and Barrios as the main event. We'll be looking at Barrios to win via decision. Not only is he dealing with father time, but layoffs. Anytime you're taking a 2-3 year hiatus from fight. We're going to be looking at Mario Barrios to win via decision.
There you go from Wayne. All right, that's going to do for our sports coverage. Mills and I will coming up here with UFC. Big Al, Wayne, it's always great having you guys on the show. We'll catch up with you guys next week. Guys, all right, let's continue here.
Thanks, Tony.
You got it. Let's continue on the drive-through. Time to take a look at this UFC card. UFC 318 coming in from the Smoothie King Center. Oh, smoothie would sound really good right now. New Orleans, Louisiana. Oh, I don't know what they're going to put in the smoothies there in Louisiana. There'll be some alcohol for sure in that smoothie arena there. Mills, tell us about the card there and down in the Big Easy.
Yeah, man. It's a big pay-per-view event out there in New Orleans. It's Dustin Poirier's retirement fight. It's his last fight. They have a title on the line. It's the BMF title on the line. It's between him and Max Holloway. They already fought 2 times, so it's a trilogy fight. And, Dustin won both of them fights. He opened up a pick'em. Now it seems like Max Holloway's the favorite. Got a couple of co-main event fights on there. That's entertaining between Paulo, Costa, and Kapalov. But yeah, it's going to be a good fight out there. You got Lil Wayne walking Dustin Diamond Poirier out. So yeah, he didn't get to perform at the Super Bowl, but he got to perform at the UFC 318 event in New Orleans.
Let's go to the rundown here. We'll start it off here, featherweight division here, main card here, pay-per-view. We got Danny EJ and Patricio Pitbull from Brazil. We see EJ here, 211, total 2.5.
Yeah, so this is Patricio Pitbull's second fight now in the UFC. Came over from Bellator. He took that loss on the chin against Yair Rodriguez to where he was an underdog in there. And now he has a tough task on him with Dan Ige. Dan Ige's been saying in his interviews he wants to go out there and look for the finish. If this was about 3, 4, 5 years ago, it would have been Pitbull minus 400 against Dan Ige, and everybody would blind bet it. But in this spot, I think Father Time caught up with him. I like Dan Ige in this one.
All right, let's continue here on our UFC rundown here, going by Mills. Next fight we're going to take a look at here. There we got it set up to go here. So in this one, we go to the welterweight division. We got Kevin Holland, U.S., facing Daniel Rodriguez from the U.S. Big line here. Holland, 578, total 2.5.
Yeah, so shout out to Daniel Rodriguez. I got an interview out with him. He's from Alhambra, California, out here on the West Coast. And, shout out to Kevin Holland. He's from Riverside. But he moved out there to Texas. So you got 2 West Coast fighters fighting now. And these guys were circled to fight each other about 2 times now. Once in 2020 in the UFC, Kevin Holland had to pull it out because of an injury. And then once again, later on, to where they're actually supposed to fight. And Nick Diaz pulled out his fight. And then Kevin Holland fought Kamaev, Khamzat Chimaev. So these guys been penciled in to fight now. And now it seems like Kevin Holland's a big favorite. Minus 400 on the books. It's usually a thing to where you don't trust him at those odds, but you don't trust him at those odds at middleweight. They're fighting at welterweight. When he fights at welterweight, it's kind of like he has the advantages over a lot of fighters. And this one, it's going to be the faster fighter, the more powerful fighter as well. I don't think this one's going the distance, and the favorite's probably going to win inside the distance.
There we go with Mill. Let's continue here on the drive-through. We go right here to the main event here. Max Holloway here, U.S. against Dustin Poirier, U.S. And this one, Holloway, $1.25, total 4.5.
Yeah, man. So it was a pick'em, before about 2 weeks, and then now monies came in. Now Holloway's the rightfully favorite, you can say. When it's all said and done, I'm a big Max Holloway fan. I think he's still the top 3, 4 fighter in this division. Dustin Poirier is on his retirement fight out, but I'm betting Dustin Poirier in here, man. I think it's coming down to where he knows this is his last fight, and he doesn't just want to go out there and give him a brawl. I think he just wants to retire with a win by all means. So that means that he can go to that grappling. He can go back and, he won once by submission against Max Holloway in the beginning. So if the hands ain't going right on the feet, I look for him to go to the grappling and, make this an all-around fight, not just an actual boxing match. So give me Dustin Diamond Poirier.
Here from Mills. Let's continue here on the drive-through. We move to the middleweight division here in the pay-per-view card. Paulo Costa here, Brazil against Raman Kapalov from Russia. We've got the Russian fighter favorite here, 229, total 2.5.
Yeah, man. Paulo Costa just isn't active enough, and I think he has 1 win since 2019. And before that, even when he was good, when he was getting all his wins in the UFC, they're against fighters who were, if we looked at those names now, on the resume. You're gonna say, "Oh wow, he really didn't beat nobody." When it's all said and done, he's an entertaining fighter. Though he has good striking, he has good volume. You can't trust him though. But as a dog, I see a lot of people betting on him this week as like the public dog. I was kind of favoring that a little bit, but my eyes don't deceive me. I like Kapalov in here just because I know that he has been mixing in wrestling in his last couple of fights, training out there in Dagestan. He's a Russian fighter, but he doesn't fight that way. He has a body kick that he likes to throw over and hits the liver. So I like Kapalov in this fight, man. And I actually think he's a pretty, I wouldn't say pretty solid, but I like him as a parlay piece this week.
All right, there from Mills. Let's continue on as we continue with the pay-per-view card. We got Michael Johnson, U.S., facing here Daniel Huber from Mexico. The Mexican fighter, heavy favorite here of up to almost $6 now, total 1.5.
You hear that dog barking?
Yeah.
Y'all hear that dog barking?
I heard the dog barking.
Yeah, man. I'm on the dog, man. Give me the dog in this one. The more I look at this matchup, the more I say, okay, Huber is good. He's young in his career. But Michael Johnson, he done fought the who's with everybody. We're talking about a guy who fought Khabib. We're talking about a guy who has a win over Dustin Poirier. And he's won 3 out of his last 4 fights, even though he is the older fighter in here. To me, he's the more dangerous fighter. So Huber is a guy that, he's young in his career to where he's not just going out there and putting the stamp on every single fight. He's good, but at these odds, I mean, I got to go with the dog in this one.
There we go, the big dog there from Mills. All right, let's continue on as we move now into the prelims that will be on ESPN. These fights on ESPN prelims. We'll take a look here, middleweight division here. Ataba Gautier from Cameroon against Robert Valentine, Switzerland. We got the Cameroon fighter, Gautier, 515, total 1.5.
Yeah, man, untrustworthy numbers that you can't parlay. When you see a number like that, I need like a veteran that's been in this game for at least 5 or 6 fights. Or I need somebody that's just supposed to go out there and be the next Bo Nickel in this sport. I don't need somebody from Cameroon that we've seen fight at least 1 or 2 times in the UFC. He's taking on a good fighter, who's just been on the short end of the stick in both of his fights out there. One thing I do like, I don't think it's going over, so you can go ahead and do what you want with that. Give me the under 1.5 in here.
There from Mills. Let's continue on here. Move to the middleweight division here. Marvin Vtori from Italy taking on Brendan Allen, U.S. Here we've got Allen favored at $1.98, total 2.5.
Man, it's a good fight right here. And this actually should be on the main card. Amazed that it's not on the main card. 2 talented fighters been circling around the division. These guys already fought once at the PFL event in a parking lot because they had beefs. In that one, Brandon Allen walked up, got the better of them in that exchange. Now they're going to be fighting in the octagon in here. The odds a little bit too high for me to just feel that confident in Brandon Allen. I think maybe he should be around a -140. Vtori, he likes to come forward with good pressure, but he doesn't move his head. He has that zombie defense. He's there to be hit. His volume sometimes lack, especially later on in the fights, but he's tough and he's durable. He doesn't have that finish ability. If Brandon Allen is able to get the leg kicks out there, grapple, make this a all-around mixed martial arts fight, he will cover that number as a 2-1 favorite on the price tag. I was leaning to Vtori when this week started off. It's because of those odds, and it's because sometimes Brandon Allen can get pushed around in there. Yeah, but it's what Vtori are we going to be getting at this stage? It's the second fight training at American Top Team. So I do think that this is probably going to be the best Marvin Vtori that we've seen in this last couple of fights. I'm kind of leaning to the dog on this one, man. I'm gonna wait till I see the weigh-ins a little bit. But the pick, I still think Brandon Allen should be able to win by decision in here. But if you guys are looking for a dog, Marvin Vtori is a good one to bet on this week.
There from Mills. Let's continue on here with the prelims here. ESPN to televise this prelim welterweight division. Francisco Prado, Argentina against Nikolai Veritinov here from Kazakhstan. We got the Prado favored $1.42, total 2.5.
Yeah, it's Prado's second fight now in the welterweight division. Took that first fight against Jake Matthews. He wasn't able to get the win in there. Had a little dog shot on him in that fight. But it was okay because Jake Matthews made money for us last week. So, that's just how MMA goes sometimes. Veritinov, same thing. Faded him in his last fight, and we got money on Austin Vanderford. Austin Vanderford took that fight on short notice and was able to get the KO win. Both these guys going to stand out there and strike. Don't let the OV confuse you. He ain't one of those. When it's all said and done, I do like Prado in this one. If the price was down to that minus 120, I would feel a lot better. At that minus 150 where it was at earlier, there's another fighter on here I like around that price tag that I'd rather bet straight that I already did.
All right, continuing here on the drive-through as we move on to the, let's see, we've got, I don't know if it was this fight up late. I'm still showing, let's see, in the prelims, let's see, early prelims, we've got this fight. Let's see what we've got here. Phillips is in action. Is this one of those fights that just got updated?
Phillips?
Phillips?
Yeah, he's fighting still.
Okay, what do you got in the Phillips fight?
So is it, is this the Phillips and Vinicius Oliveira?
Let me double check here.
Kyler Phillips, right?
Kyler Phillips. Yeah, Kyler Phillips. That's right. Kyler Phillips and Venus Oliveira. That's right.
Got it. Yeah, this the one right here, man. Kyler Phillips, first time being an underdog. He's usually a big favorite in all of his fights. But his last time out, he didn't cover that price tag against Rob Font. Now he's the underdog. I like Vinicius Oliveira on the other side. I bet him straight at a minus 160. Money's coming in on Kyler Phillips. If I waited, probably could have got a better line. This guy is good, man. He knows how to attack the body. He goes high and low. He strikes from different angles as well. He has volume out there. He already had 3 tough tasks in the UFC, and he was an underdog in all of them. Seemed like the odds makers don't want to give you that plus money on him this week. Take Vinicius Oliveira, and take Vinicius Oliveira in this one.
Oliveira, the Mills. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru. We move now to the early prelims here. We got ESPN2. You can also find them on the Fight Pass over there. We move to heavyweight. The big boys are in action. Heavyweight division. And Ryan Spann here, United States, against the Polish fighter Lukasz Brazeski. We got Spann 239, total 1.5.
Yeah, man. In this one, so let's try to do some narratives. Ryan Spann's nickname Superman. The Superman movie just came out last week. Nah, I can't trust this guy, man. I can't trust Brazeski either. The one thing I can't trust is violence on both sides. So give me the under 1.5 and call it a night.
Yeah, from Mills. Let's continue on here. Welterweight division. Adam Fugit. I was going to give you that. No, I'm not going to say it. Adam Fugit here against Islam Dulatov from Germany. The German fighter, Dulatov, favorite 629, total 1.5.
Yeah, man, I like this guy a lot, Dulatov. This fight was already supposed to happen once at UFC Seattle, and it got replaced and rebooked. When the UFC does that, they don't usually give somebody a different opponent. They want these same people to fight again. That means they want this favorite to win. That fight, I want to say he closed at a minus 420. He opened up at like a minus 380, 400 on this time. Now he's around that 600 price tag. We're talking about a guy who made his UFC debut on the Dana White Contender Series. He has 11 wins, all of them by finishes, all of them within the first round. He was a part-time model for Versace, Prada, and all those other things. So, yeah, man, this is a guy that the UFC has been kind of backing and waiting for to come up and show. Now, the underdog, Adam Fugit, trains over there at Fight Ready at Arizona, one of the better gyms out there. Tough veteran in the sport. He usually gets past bottom-tier fighters in here. But we haven't seen Dulatov past that first round. We really haven't seen him fight against a UFC vet. I did a parlay with Dulatov earlier on when he was like around that minus 400 in the 2-leg. But where he's at now, if this fight gets past that second round or gets extended to that second round, we're probably all going to be looking at our price tags. But when it's all said and done, man, Delatov's the goods, man. Take him to win inside the distance. I took too long, but that's a fighter you guys should watch and circle that name around, Dulatov.
Keep an eye on Dulatov there. Continue on here. Light heavyweight division. We got Jimmy Crute, Australia. Marcin Pacino here from Poland. This one, we got Crute favorite 315. Total sits here at 2.5.
Yeah, Marcin Prachniel, man, good karate type of style that he has, but we haven't seen this guy fight in about 2 years. A lot of people thought he retired. Jimmy Crute, guess what? He actually did retire. He was 29 years old. I think he had 6 fights in the UFC or so, and he just retired after like 2 bad fights. Took a year off, year and a half, came back. Now he's back. This is his second fight now coming back. I was kind of hesitant, looking at him just to bet him, on your second fight back. But the more I do look at this, the old Jimmy Crute that I know would run through Prachniel. Give me Jimmy Crute to get it done.
From Mills, let's continue on here. Middleweight division here in the early prelims. Bruno Ferrer here from Brazil against Jackson McVey here from the U.S. We got Ferrer favored 556, total 1.5.
So Bruno Ferrer, definitely the more talented fighter in the UFC, has the experience, has about 5 fights at least in the promotion. McVey's been waiting to make his notice in the UFC, 6-0, coming from the LFA promotion. Guess what? All of his 6 wins came in the first round. The under in here is something to definitely look at if you guys are looking for a good parlay piece. But I've been on McVey when he was supposed to be fighting his first opponent. And I'm on him this week, man, as well, man. I'm on the big dog, man. Give me Jackson McVey. I think he can catch him with the knee, and go ahead and get the submission early on. So, yeah, man, I like McVey in this fight.
Dave from Mills, big underdog. All right, ladies last on our rundown, but ladies first on the card here. Judis here from the U.S. against Nicole Kalari from the Brazil. We got the U.S. fighter Judis here, favored 334, total 2.5.
Yeah, so Judis is going to be the hometown fighter. She's, from Louisiana, so she's going to have the crowd behind her. She's the first girl to kick off the fight, meaning that, they want people to be in the crowd, so you could put the hometown fighter on there. You definitely going to have some more people in the crowd. But she has 4-2. That's 6 fights right there. Kalari has 8 wins and, something losses. I don't know. But, man, she got more wins than she got losses. But this is where she's going to probably struggle at. Her striking is nowhere compared to Judis. But Kalari, she's going to be trying to shoot for the takedowns and get it down to the ground. And play spoiler alert. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a lot closer fight than a lot of these other fights on there. Sometimes when people see odds, they see minus 300, right? And they're like, okay, this fight's definitely going to win. Compared to looking at one that I think I'm way more confident in, that's minus 160 and the minus 210. So, just don't get caught up with numbers and always think they're going to win. Sometimes you really got to look in between the fights and stuff. So, I think Judis wins, but the way she's getting bet up now, I don't advise nobody parlaying that and feeling so confident in it.
How does that hometown angle work, especially looking at early prelims, and, of course, the main events fights? How does that angle work with these hometown fighters?
I mean, the hometown, especially in the beginning, all the crowd's going to be cheering for you. Everything that you do, they're going to be cheering. So the judge is going to hear it, and they're going to think, oh, yeah, she's doing something, she's doing more than what she actually is. Because nobody's there in the very beginning, right? The stadium's just empty. You can hear anything, So when you got your hometown right there, that's how a lot of times, those fighters would even win a close fight in the decision. Later on in the fights, when it just comes down to it, the decisions, I don't think that's going to be too much in favor for the main event, just because I don't really think that one goes to the scorecards. And if it do, I think it's going to be kind of written on the wall by the 4th round, who's winning this fight. It's either going to be a real dominant one if it's going 5 rounds, or else I think this violence is going to happen and it doesn't last past 3.
From Mills, all right, we got you some of these other canceled fights. We got you through the fight card here for UFC here on Saturday, July 19th. Pay-per-view is where you can find it, guys. So there with Mills. Of course, Mills, content producer over at Pick Dogs. You got lots going on up there. Well, of course, baseball coming back. We can look for your prop shop as well as your UFC rundown videos. What you got over on the Pick Dogs YouTube?
Yeah, man, we've been printing money out there for the WNBA as of late. And the Summer League, we've been doing the same thing, man. The Summer League, we've definitely been picking our spots on there. We've been dropping player props that they moved up about 2 points from when we first gave them out, and they only played about 3 games. So, yeah, there was definitely money be made in the Summer League. So definitely check out the prop shop. I'm dropping it daily for you guys. Didn't drop it today because there was nothing to bet on prop-wise. And the WNBA, man, I've been printing money on there as well. I got a few people that I go to, for my good bets on my player props. A few girls I like in there. But I've been adding a few more names and seeing some stuff. I've been adding a trifecta in there. Sabrina Ionescu's been printing money. I'll take her over her points, her rebounds and assists. Parlay them all together, it'd be like plus 400. I did the same with Asia Wilson about 2 days ago. She hit over her points, she hit over her rebounds, she hit over her assists. Big plus money price tags on there. So yeah, man, going over the best player props for you guys on Prize Picks as well. And then check out the UFC Bet With Me series. That dropped Wednesday for you guys. Went full into detail for you guys. Killing it for you guys this year. 8-4 on the predictions out there. Gave you guys a lot of dogs at cash last week on that card. I did miss with the Derek Lewis pick though. But yeah, man, so that's where you can check out everything that we got dropping at Pick Dogs.
Yep. So keep an eye there on the prop shop with Mills. Lots going on. We still have games to go in the after tomorrow. Each team will play at least one game. There'll be playoffs and a final. So we've at least have a 15. We'll have about 16 games remaining after tomorrow as we have to get to the semis and the final. And then the remainder of teams playing a consolation game. So lots still going on in the Summer League. Baseball returning tomorrow, so keep an eye on that prop shop. All right, Mills, it's always great to have you on the show. We'll catch up with you soon. That'll do it for this edition here of The Drive-Thru. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe button. Over 250,000 subscribers. Gonna try to get to 300K now. That's the next goal here. So hit that subscribe button if you would. All right, that's gonna do it for the show. Mills, anything to say in closing?
We got a PFL event going on Saturday. It's going down in Africa. It's the first time they travel to Africa. I like AJ McKee to win. He's a minus 205. He's coming back down to featherweight. That's one that I'm definitely circling on, and I already got a play on. And then you could take Dakota Davincica to win inside the distance. She's going to be defending her title against Sanika Inaba. I was able to interview all those fighters before, and I got clips out there with them. But yeah, man, I'm definitely looking at AJ McKee. He's coming from Long Beach, California. And I think after this fight, he's trying to get out that contract to get into the UFC. So if he gets past this test, I'm pretty sure he'll be in the UFC after this one.
There you go. All right, that's going to do it here for The Drive-Thru, guys. Going to wait goodbye, guys. Make it a winning one.